But Jeff Epstein, not a pedophile. But you're not ready for that conversation. All of his victims, 14 to 17. That's not pedophilia. But y'all niggas ain't ready for that conversation. People say that's normalizing pedophilia. No, that's defining pedophilia. Pedophilia is sex with children. Children are people that are before canon law, and the Catholic Church says, it says the minimum age to get married is 14 for women, 16 for men.
Bro, what the hell am I hearing? What am I hearing? What am I hearing? What am I hearing? 14 to 17 Epstein? Like a 30-some-year-old, 40-year-old man. Dog, what are we talking about here, bro? What are we doing? You guys are sick. You guys are not beating the allegations at all. You're not beating them. For you to even have thoughts like that register inside your head of someone that's way younger than you that's still developing. What is it? The cortex isn't fully developed. Be a lot older, in your 30s, your 40s. And you're thinking about little kids. Those are kids. I think you're just doing this to be edgy. This isn't even edgy at this point. Like you'll go from one line to the next line to the next line because you're grifting. I get that, right? The sickening and all this right here, like, bro, like, hear this.
But Jeff Epstein, not a pedophile. Not a pedophile.
Jeff Epstein, not a pedophile, bro. Are you out of your mind? Obviously you are. Money got you consumed. You got to. There's just no way.
Not ready for that conversation. All of his victims, 14 to 17.
Nick Fuentes, when you were 14 to 17 years old, what was you thinking about? A 14-year-old consenting to sex. That's what you're telling me. Is that a 14-year-old can consent to sex and understand exactly what he or she is doing. You're out of your mind if you say that Epstein is free and in the clear because he had sex with 14 to 17-year-olds. And I want it to sound vulgar. He penetrated 14 to 17-year-olds, and you're sitting here online and trying to vouch for it. If you was 14, 17, you would have said that you was touched. If an older woman came across you and she started touching on you and everything like that, you would say you was molested. Yes, do we know that there's undeveloped countries that sit there and they do this? But here in America, we do things differently. We say 18 for a reason. They graduated high school. At a certain point in time, we let you off into the world. We let you figure things out. That's if you want to make that decision. You're still relatively young until the age of 21, and there's reasons for all this stuff. Your cortex has not fully developed. But you can make such a drastic decision like having sex with a grown-ass man on a fucking yacht or in fucking God knows wherever they put these kids into, chambers and shit. And I could be exaggerating that point, but still, the marriage still stays the same. If you had a daughter, Nick, would you be okay with a 30, 40-year-old messing with your daughter at the age of 14? Because that's when puberty finally reaches this point, right? Like, you guys are not beating the allegation. This is your leader. This is your man's. This man that you see, that's pastor, that has a beard now, that has all this stuff going for him. This is your man's. And this goes for anyone that vouches for him. Because again, it's going to keep going on. It's going to keep being the same thing over and over again. It's going to be worse. It's going to be up the ante, up the ante, up the ante. Because how many times are you going to say nigga? I don't even say nigga, but I'm saying it right now just to be able to get the point across. How many times before it gets uncool to say nigga? How many times is going to be until you start saying the ER? How long it's going to take before that stuff dries up? Because you're not going to do anything in the real world. We seen you firsthand out there in the real world. You're not touching nobody. And for anyone that vouches that right there and try to put religion as a way, like, to make it and deem it okay, you're just like, you remind me of the people of the past. Using religion as a reason why you think that you're better than everyone else. You're not. You shit like everyone else do. Your shit stink like everyone else do. If you go out there and you musty as fuck, people gonna smell it. You're human. We bleed the same shit. But some of you forget that shit. Some of you like think that like Jesus is white. You guys are sick. You guys listen to sick shit like this. 14 to 17-year-olds. I'm rambling because I need you to understand. I need to, like, if I could just grab your ass. If I could just grab your ass and shake you. I'm talking about Nick Fuentes fans and anyone else that subscribes to this knows. If I could just grab your ass and just shake you, I would do it. Because, like, I don't think that you guys were, like beat down enough. I don't think that y'all was beat down enough in life. Y'all wasn't called losers enough. Let me hit you with like some real game real fast, right? If what Nick Fuentes is saying is absolutely true, the 14 to 17-year-old is okay because these are kids and everything like that, then why do people hide when they do act like that? Why you hide? Why is it that you have to go out there, you have to kidnap kids, you gotta do this, you gotta do that? You got to do it in secrecy. And you can say, oh, well, it's because of law and everything like that. No. I want people to understand this. I don't care what part of the world you are from. I don't care what part of the world you are from or anything like that. I want you to understand this. No matter what happens, human superpowers of like how we able to understand stuff is our discernment and our morality. It doesn't matter where you come from in this world. You have a sense of morality to a degree. It don't matter if you think that, oh, well, some people think that murder is this, murder is that. Everyone has a sense of a moral compass. It might be less than others, it might be more than others, but you always have that because that is a sense to pick up on danger, when danger's around you. You pick up on that stuff. That's our superpowers. That's what we get from the Lord. That is what we get. Dangerous to people. I've always said that I found this guy weird, but it just like amplifies to 10 when I think about the stuff that he says. Because yes, he could be joking around, but who's to say he isn't? Who's to say he ain't around people that actually move like this? I wouldn't doubt it. But I worry about the people that follow him. The little white boys, the Hispanics, the whoever else, black kids that subscribes to this type of notion. I feel for you guys more than anyone else because you're young enough to still be persuaded by someone like this to deem that that type of action is okay. We were to put it into terms and he was out there in the front lines, you guys would be the first ones to go, not him. I look at the little ones and I say this with all passion and compassion that I do have, is that this is a dangerous man. And some of you is gonna think that that's okay and think that that's cool, X, Y, and Z, but there's real life consequences outside once you leave those four doors, the door, the windows, when all that stuff is gone and you out there into the real world, that comes with consequences. That could be your death, that could be your demise, that could be you locked up in jail. There's consequences to what you do. He's saying this behind closed doors just because, again, he's protected by that. But once you step out there, you don't know who's after you. You don't know what's going to happen. Don't take this stuff too seriously online because you will wind up getting hurt into the real world and you're going to be asking yourself why when I thought that this was the way to go. Don't listen to scumbags like this. You're going to wind up getting hurt. You're going to wind up hurting yourself.